The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll set them back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Now it's Ajayi. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Throw on second down. And Daniels has it left side. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
This is Ajayi. Able to power through. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On second down, here's Carr. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
6-18. 24. 7-34.
Carr going to try and throw on third down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. He was looking for Daniels that time. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. After the interception, here's Goff. There he goes inside the 30. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll run on first down. Parker. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Maverick. Hey. 4 down. What? Like 20.
To throw on second down is gone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Kentrell Bryce picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Now Carr throwing on second down. It's complete. Javon Wims, the open man. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
18. 24. 7:34.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Trying to lay one up deep. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Cooper was the intended target.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On first down, Parker. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, Parker. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down. From the gun, it's Carr. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Michael Brockers able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. Here's the Raiders punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On second down, here's Goff. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's gone. And Cooks hands it over the middle. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40. Here's Goff. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each.
Man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we're looking at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try the left side. Parker. And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Zerline connects on the extra point. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. Looking to throw on second down. Carr throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
The Raiders on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Carr. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Parker. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go. What? Like 20. Hey, shout. 17.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Goff on 1st down. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Kupp. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Rams on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. Goff now looks to throw. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Express. Express. Go cheat. Ain't no way.
To throw on second down. Carr. And he is going to be wrapped up and swung to the turf. Aaron Donald. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
93.
And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. The Raiders on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's a jive. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Well, the Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On 1st down, gone. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Hey, 4 down.
Look at the spin. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Throwing on 3rd. Gone. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Done. Like 20.
On first down, Parker. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They'll keep it on the ground. Parker, absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's Johnny Hecker now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw on second down. Carr. And the Rams got it. They bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
24. 6:37.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's the Raiders punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is fielded at the 27. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tempt to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They'll run on first down. Parker, and he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that, as the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here we go.
Now gone. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll start out on the ground with a Ajay. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. The tackle there by LaMarcus Joyner. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They run with Ajay, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Carr. Deep ball for Goodwin. He's got a man complete. And finally he goes out of bounds right at the 35-yard line. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
6:37. Purdue.
Carr now on 1st down. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Go, go. Get set, get set. 93. 93.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Carr. They dump off underneath to Ajay. Ajay, a 1st down and more. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Jay Ajay, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are back within a score. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here, all right? Let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high-percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 76. Tell him. 76. 76.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Goff now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They run the counter. Parker. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
To throw on second down is Goff. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9.
Cut. 120. Check.
Play action. It's Goff. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
694.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. This one caught left side by Cooper. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And they'll go on the ground. A giant hit. He lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. On first down, Parker. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll keep it on the ground. Parker trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They run the counter. Parker extending the arm.
Oh, yes, it works.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space. But there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try the left side. Parker. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Rams use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 13. From the gun, Carr. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Your mind. 694. Yeah, 98's down. 58, 98.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Goff gonna throw it. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Gary and Conley. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
618.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Trying to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
The Raiders on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
OP, OP. 808. Get set. 180. 618.
From the gun, it's Carr. And he finds Daniels. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Carr. It's caught right side by Daniels. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On play action, now Carr. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Aaron Donald in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Michael Brockers. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Get down, get down. 734.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 29. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
I obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Throwing now, Goff. And that will be incomplete. Looked like it might have been intercepted, but he's out of bounds. And a good thing, too, probably. That would have cost him yardage. And now they'll get the ball back on the turnover on downs. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Goff again. He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Los Angeles, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Arizona Cardinals next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
They call a podcast Poppy. King goes, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold. I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See sign break night, this break night. My wristwatch is like a break light. And you can get it right on your gravesite. So tell me something I don't know. $50 pizza when I'm eating in Soho. I heard that you in love with the stuff in your hate me, they hate me. What should I do? Keep getting money. It's funny, I was just like you. Super Bowl Sunday with the facts. Security guard told Kevin Hart to relax. Oh! Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, game in the chokehold. I reinvented myself, they thought I hated it. I reinvented myself and upgraded it. Traded in the Jews, copped a couple new ones. Lost a couple friends and got a couple new ones. Upstairs and downstairs, the balcony. These oceanside views, the alchemy. Ain't nothing crazy like the city in the summertime. So when it's